Welcome to the Heal and Zeal podcast, where we talk all things wellness. I'm Hannah Faidi, the founder of Heal and Zeal Digital. Today's episode is about International Women's Day. Is dedicated to International Women's Day, and I'm so excited to introduce Tina Chagrouy, a well-renowned clinical dietitian specializing in functional hormones and an advocate for women's health. We will be discussing how good nutrition can transform women's lives and how we can empower women to make more informed dietary choices for a healthier, happier life. Hi, Tina. I'm so excited to have you on my show today.
Hi, Hannah. I'm more excited and I'm looking forward to the talk.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's start with the basics. Why is nutrition such a critical factor in women's health and empowerment?
For so many reasons, Hannah. You have to remember that women's health and men's health, بس بما إنه we're talking about women today, women's health impact every aspect of her life, from her brain to her well-being, to her sleep, to her digestive system, to her reproductive system, to her aging process. فطبعا when she's taking care of her nutrition, she's taking care of all of these aspects at the same time. And you can only imagine how far a woman who's feeling good with herself and with her body and health-wise, where she can go and where she can reach. أنا, in my opinion, a woman who takes care of her nutrition is a woman who is aiming very high in life, not only physically, not only mentally, but also career-wise, at every level, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a life commitment. It's a life
It is.
commitment.
It
Yeah,
is a life
yeah,
commitment. It's a responsibility, actually. Come to
yeah.
think of it, we are responsible for this body that we have. And I think, and I always tell my clients, you will only realize the importance of good nutrition and the effect of good nutrition when you actually experience either the consequences of bad nutrition, and I'm talking illness, or when you actually experience the magic of good nutrition on yourself. خلاص, you cannot unlearn it anymore. Once you feel it and you know it, you can only do good to yourself.
Yeah. Through your experience, what are the most common mistakes women make in nutrition? Through your clients, through your
Yeah.
what are the common mistakes?
Yeah. Listen, it has to be number one, has to be a calorie restriction and food restriction. This, if I want to find a common denominator for women across all ages, from the moment she's a preteen, not even a teen, from the moment she's 9, 10, until she's probably postmenopausal, this is the number one mistake women do. They undereat, they restrict their intake, they're constantly dieting in an aim of perfection. We want to look a certain way. We want to wear size مدري شو. And I have women who have never been slim or who have never been skinny, okay? Who have always been chubby, healthy, happy. And they've lived all their life aiming to look better, not even look better, aiming to lose weight. They come to me in their 40s at the clinic. You know what they tell me? They tell me, if I look now at myself when I was 20 and I hated my body, I wish I can go back to that body because I look great. So to tell you how much women over criticize themselves and how much we just put negative thoughts in our heads. So
And then you miss out on living the moment and
oh
enjoying
my
life
God,
because you're always searching for that perfect body.
absolutely.
This brings me to my next question.
Yeah,
Women have different nutritional needs
yeah,
as in different stages of their life. So
yeah.
teenagers, young women, older women in menopause, like you mentioned. Can you break down some of the key nutrients women need at the different stages briefly?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. If we're looking at teenagers, we always think teenagers, puberty, growth. So we have a priority at this age for iron. We have to make sure that the girl, if she's iron deficient, which is very common in young girls this age, if she's iron deficient, she is covering the deficiency. She's taking her supplements. She's eating well. Protein. Girls at this age tend to overconsume carbs and eat less proteins because of their lifestyle, because of the ease of finding carbs. It's easy to grab a bag of chips. It's not easy to grill a steak. So we need to prioritize proteins, iron at this age, vitamin D is crucial for their hormones. This is the age where they're developing their hormones. They are maturing their eggs. This is where egg quality starts. This is where fertility starts. So this is
Yes.
a very, very critical age. We don't start thinking of fertility at 28 and 30 when we decide to give birth, no, or to get pregnant. The 15, 12, 13, 14, 15, this is where we start focusing on fertility, and this is the parents' responsibility.
Yes.
Come adulthood, or what we call fertile years or fertility years,
Yes.
for most women, this is also a very critical period. Here we have to keep the focus on iron طبعا, but their needs are not as high as when they start getting their period first. Number two, vitamin D importance increases. Now it's even more important. B vitamin, specifically folic acid, becomes a must for women at this age, especially planning pregnancy. And I always speak about the forms of folic acid. We can't just grab any cheap folic acid from the supermarket or the pharmacy and take it. There are certain types and certain forms of supplements. And also, we have to take it from the food, obviously. So, omega 3 is very important at this age because it works both ways on inflammation, because this is where women usually start eating more out, indulging maybe in alcohol, maybe taking more snacking, maybe being eating under stress. This is the age where women don't have time to sit and have a proper meal. So inflammation starts creeping at this age. So we need to have enough fish or seafood or fish oil or omega 3, and طبعا, of course, clean food. Then you have this age, I would say, from 42, 43, all the way to menopause, which is the perimenopause years. Here we have to really focus on all of the above, but also here we start going slightly deeper into their needs of some botanicals. We need to do some mood enhancing. At this age, she needs a bit more gut health focus, so more probiotics, prebiotics. There are so many vitamins and minerals and supplements that we can take now to promote gut health. So she's focusing on this. And we start working as well, nutrition wise, on things to balance out the hormones, because on the years leading to menopause, hormones are a mess. Just exactly the same way like they're a mess on the years leading to menarche or to the first period. If you look at the graphs, they're very similar. One is going up and one is going down. So again, she needs to work on detoxing her body, improving her liver function, improving her drainage system, which is her gut health. And then menopause and post-menopause, the main focus is on calcium, vitamin D, omega 3. We need to make sure that the bones are okay. We need to make sure that the what do you call it? The cognitive health is at the peak.
Yeah.
We want her to live longer, but we want her to be healthy in those years. We don't want her to live longer, but in need of help, in need of a wheelchair, God forbid, or in needs of a cane, or in needs. We need her to be independent, and we need her to be healthy and happy.
Yeah, I guess when a woman is well informed early on in her younger years, it would definitely help her as she age, as opposed to one suddenly waking up at 40 and saying, "Oh my God, I forgot to take care of myself."
40 is still good. I
Feel
mean,
good.
most women wake up at 49, 50 the moment the period starts being irregular and
Yes.
she's close to menopause. And then it hits her like, oh my
Oh,
God,
what
what have I
happened?
done? What do I need to do?
Yes.
What my deficiencies, my bones, my health? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Coming
important for
to
her to be well informed. You know, what you mentioned here is very important. It's this is why I say it's a parent responsibility from a very young age to teach kids, to teach girls
yes.
on where to look for information. You know, nowadays social media is so dangerous, but at the same time, it can be so useful and helpful. The
Yes.
level of influence the social media has on teenagers can be used to our advantage. We shouldn't always look at social media like an enemy. Like, oh my
Yes.
God, they're learning the bad habits. You know what? No, there are so many good influencers on social media. They have access to so much, and they have access, and we have access to accounts that can change their life to the positively. So we need to be really out there. We cannot say social media is bad when you're not even on TikTok. Do you know what's happening on TikTok?
Yeah.
Do you know what's the game of the algorithm? Do you know that if your daughter looks for healthy eating, her algorithm and her feed page will be filled with healthy recipes, healthy
Yes.
influencers? So there's a game to play with social media.
Definitely. That was actually my next question. But it's interesting how you put it that way, because I was going to approach it saying social media is full of, conflicting health advice,
Yeah.
and maybe not all everyone talking out there is saying the right thing.
Yeah.
There's many detox plans, detox fat diets, diet trends. So I think it's more about, I totally agree with you that social media is a source of helpful information and can influence, especially the teenagers to actually, take care of their health and all this. But also knowing, like, the question is, how could they know fact from fiction? How can we make sure they're, reading the right information, being fed the right information? I guess that's where it becomes a bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, listen, to answer this question, let's go back to the adults who are getting the information before the teens. Because once
Okay.
the adult in the house or the adult that has an influence on that teen is well informed, then it's easier to transmit this.
Yes.
But here's the problem: the problem is the adults, even the adults, don't know where to look for information today. I mean, it's very simple, Hannah. Look at social media and look at which accounts have the most following and engagement. They're not the health professionals. They're not the licensed dietitians. They're not the medical doctors. I mean, some, yes, but
Yes.
mostly they're not. They're the good looking influencers. They're the bloggers. They're the fashionistas. They're the girls with the pretty hair. They're the girls with the good skin. And these are the ones who are the most influential on social media, right? Now,
Yes.
mind you, I'm not criticizing here. Good for them because they are smart, they are using this platform. Now, our responsibility is to be able to make a difference between someone who is selling you a product, someone who is sharing their own experience, and someone who is actually giving you the right information for you to make an informed decision. It doesn't mean you don't follow these. No, follow them, listen to them, but be critical when you're listening. Know that there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
And I always say, in an ideal world, I would like you to listen to both, and in an ideal world, I would like both to communicate together and give you the message, because there is nothing stronger than a reliable health influencer or a health professional
Yeah.
who has the experience and the expertise to team up with an influencer that is interested in health and that has a following, for instance, of young girls or young women, to team up to give the right message. So we should really take advantage of, or we should partner, we should collaborate with these amazing influencers. One, we are adding value to their content, and two, we are helping them and they are helping us transmit the message. But
Yeah.
if we're going to sit on the sideline and criticize and complain and yeah, they're just taking over and they're not licensed and they shouldn't be do, it's easy, it's easy to complain. But you know what? Whatever they're doing is working. So you know what? Learn from this and use it to your advantage. So to answer your question, they need to know where they're getting their information from,
Yes.
and they need, and this is very important, Hannah, they need to invest in their health. They cannot say or claim to be health conscious or want to change or want to look better or feel better when they're relying on the information online. They have to have personalized treatments. They have to see licensed dietitians or practitioners or physicians or specialized in the area they want. And yes, it costs money. And yes, the insurance doesn't always cover. But you know what? This is your health. You better invest in your health before you before you have the need to invest in your illness and in your disease. So
Yes.
investing, seeking the right help is essential.
Yeah, yeah. It's just about, picking the right people to follow, and also I like the point where you mentioned, parents need to be also, in a way,
Aware.
overlooking and helping, in an indirect way, directing their children, and also parents need to, walk the talk. Like, if the
Thank you.
teenagers or children, or we're talking women, the teenagers see their, for example, mother being, following good health practices and, healthy, and the food she's cooking in the house, all that makes a big difference,
Can
as
I
well
say, can
as
I
to
add,
what to, yeah,
can I add something here? Because you
yes,
mentioned mothers, and when we say mothers and daughters, this always comes to mind, and it's very
yes,
important to
totally.
note because listen, it's very important for mothers, yes, to be a good role model, but at the same time, we see a lot of how will I put it? I don't want to say bullying, but we see a lot of negative effect or negative influence when the mother is too taken with this whole health,
Yes.
drama and workout and eating clean. And so we see that girls are being critical to their mothers. They're resisting what their mothers told them. When the mother looks slimmer and fitter than her teenage daughter, it negatively affects the
Of
daughter. I'm
course.
not saying that mothers shouldn't be fit, but we have to be very careful not to project our traumas with dieting and our history of dieting, our relationship with food onto our girls. It's very important to keep reminding
Definitely.
them of how beautiful they are, of how
Of
proud we
course.
are of them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes, we should be role models, but we shouldn't take it to an extreme as well.
No, we should teach them a balance, you mean. They should be a
Yeah,
balanced life in every aspect,
exactly.
and more accepting of who you are and how you look and all
Absolutely.
that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Coming to, what are the biggest myths that you've come across? Sometimes there are myths like, I don't know, gluten free is healthy, but not necessarily, things like that. What
Yeah.
is what is the biggest myths you've come across?
Yeah, let's start with this. Gluten free is healthy. Gluten
Yeah.
free makes you lose weight. Well, let me break this myth. Gluten is highly inflammatory. We know it. We agree on it. Gluten free doesn't make you lose weight at all. It's not the gluten free that makes you lose weight. It's not the gluten free cake and the gluten free chips and the gluten free pasta that will make a difference at all. These are highly inflammatory as well. Yes, reducing gluten reduces inflammation, but along with so many other things that you need to be doing. So this is number one. Another common myth is that girls need to eat 1,000 calories to stay fit.
Oh,
If you go above 1,200 calories, aslan, anyways, 1,200 calories. If you ask any woman of our generation, how many calories should a woman eat, or how many calories do you eat when you want to diet? She will literally tell you 1,200, not 300, not 100, because for the longest time doctors, physicians, and dietitians, I'm talking 90s and 2000s, were
yeah.
prescribing 1,200 calorie diets, regardless of what's inside the diet, to women. So, this is the myth number two. Myth
Okay.
number three is that, yeah, weight training and eating a lot of protein will bulk you up and you'll look manly. It's not
Yeah.
feminine. Wrong. The best thing you can do in your life is to up your protein intake and start weight training, because this is, if I have to choose one thing, this might be the only thing that will maintain a good muscle mass, which will maintain a good bone mass, which will ensure up to a high percentage your independence as an elderly woman. So today, when we say she's old, we don't mean she's 60 or 70 or 80. No, we mean she needs help. She is dependent. This is what we say when she's old. So
Yeah.
if you want to age gracefully, you want to be able to do your own things on your own. You want to be able to still drive, to walk, to swim, to travel, right? And if you don't maintain and focus and prioritize your muscles and your bones from a very early age, you will not see this happy, healthy aging. Yeah, so many other myths like, yeah, carbs are the enemy. No carbs, zero carbs. You shouldn't eat potato, you shouldn't eat rice. No, this is not right. There are inflammatory carbs that are highly processed. Yes, sugar is highly processed, you don't need it, but you do need a good bowl of lentil soup. You do need a nice sourdough bread. You should have some steamed rice, maybe some baked potato, some sweet potato.
Yeah.
Carbs are essential for your hormones and for your muscles as well. I mean, we can talk for hours on the myth
Yeah.
that
And
women
there's
think.
there's yeah, yeah, there's a lot of
So many.
things out there.
Yeah. So
That
many. So many
yeah.
things.
Yeah, yeah. Since we're, celebrating Women's Day, and the actual theme is accelerate action, so let's focus on action.
Yeah.
What are three simple and effective steps women can take today to improve their nutrition? Just three simple.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to start with do your blood tests, run your checks, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Don't take advice haphazardly from your neighbor and your best friend just because it worked on her. You need to run yearly tests to check your
Yes.
deficiencies, to check your blood lipids, your thyroid, your liver function, the basic functions, okay? And then
Yes.
based on that, you might need further tests, but that's a must every year. Based on that, second advice, invest in yourself. Pay the money you need to pay to get a full on protocol that fits you, whether it's supplements or food or workout. And then, most probably, you would be under eating protein, overeating carbs, taking inflammatory food, and you might have deficiencies. Fix those to start with, and you're good to go. Fix your deficiencies, up your protein intake, lower your carb intake, lower, not remove, lower. Remove inflammatory food, and then you're good to go.
And sugar, of course.
Of
Sugar,
course,
like
طبعا. Sugar is the number one inflammatory food. So yeah,
the number one. Yeah.
yeah,
True.
yeah,
True.
definitely.
True. Are there any specific foods or habits you always, tell your clients to avoid or
Yes, actually, yes. I
do?
mean, I always speak with my clients since I'm mostly working with hormones and hormonal imbalance. I always
Yes.
talk about hormonal flushing and the importance of eating the food that help deliver detox the excess hormones in our body, because that's one way of maintaining regular cycles, of entering perimenopause and menopause as smoothly as possible. And in this category, leafy greens are a must, whether it's kale or mulukhiyeh or spinach or coriander or parsley, green leaves, number one. Number two,
For hormone
for
balance.
hormones,
Yeah.
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 Number two, the family of cabbage and cauliflower, so cruciferous vegetables. These, again, work wonders on our phase two detox. Number three, proteins, amino acids, good quality protein. What's
Yeah.
the point of, and I'm not talking about those who are vegan or vegetarian for multiple reasons, but those who decide that I want to be healthy, so I stop eating meat, but I stuff my face with whey protein and protein
Oh,
powders.
yeah.
Yeah. So prioritize whole food. And then if there's a gap, yes, you can fill it. There's a reason why these things are called supplements. They are there to supplement what's already within your diet, your food. Um, uh, Leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, not red meat, like animal proteins, good quality amino acids if you're not vegan or vegetarian. Obviously, antioxidants, whether it's turmeric, whether it's berries, whether it's green tea, whether it's matcha tea, this is your elixir. Bone broth is our elixir of youth, hair, skin, gut, mood, whatever you want, name it. So
So
yeah, these are the
include it in our,
every day,
meals, in our
every day,
soups, in our, yeah. Some people
every day.
drink it in the morning as well instead of their cup of
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's a habit. It becomes a habit. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, yeah. Do you think do you think women can get enough of everything they need from food only, or some supplementing is sort of a must?
Okay, that's a good question. It depends on the age. I would say women above 40, they need to supplement. The reason is their needs increase and their absorption decreases. So,
Yes.
because of the changes in hormones at this age, the rate at which we absorb nutrients in our gut is not the same like when we're in our 20s or even early 30s, right? And this being said, our needs have increased. So, because of, you have to picture that our life cycle is so funny and ironic, because as we age, our body changes and requires more attention of us, but we have less time for our body, because as we age, we're progressing in our careers. Some are mothers taking care of teenagers and young adults. We and most of us are caring for aging parents. So there's so much required of us as we grow, and there's so much the body requires of us. So there's really a fine line here for women between having it all under control and just letting go of one. And it's so easy to let go of one aspect and
Yeah.
uh, just have difficulty with that aspect. So it's very important to see if you have needs, test if you have needs. Sometimes you don't even need to test, your symptoms will tell. Sit with the professionals, and if you have a need, yes, supplement, of course.
Yeah. And it's also very hard to track. Oh, am I getting enough magnesium? Am I getting enough,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, zinc? Am I getting
This
enough?
is why, Hannah, we say seek a professional. This is what we do. We're trained to
Exactly.
do that. Sometimes I sit with a client before she even says a thing. I can tell from the color of her skin, from the quality of her hair, from her under eyes, from her nails. I can tell what deficiencies she
Yeah.
has.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that.
So if women want to reach out to you, how can they like book a session with you and
Yeah, so I have
reach you?
everything. I have everything on my Instagram page at Tina Chagrouy.
Yes.
And if they just reach out there, I will send them forms to fill. I can give them numbers to call. We can book online appointments. So that's the easiest way to go. And I'm in the process of finalizing my new website, tinachaguri.com. So we will have
Amazing.
all the information there and the ways to connect as well.
Yes, that's so exciting. Okay, thank you very much, Tina. It's been really a pleasure having you on my humble show, and I'm so happy to, it's been so knowledgeable, and I think a lot of women will benefit from all the information you gave us and the actionable steps to take, and reach out if they need to book a session with you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Hannah.
Tina.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Hannah. And I hope everybody, like you said, would benefit from this. And happy International Women's Day.
Oh, happy International Day to you too. Thank you.
Thank you.